I wasn't gonna say anything. And honestly, I debated whether to even make this video, but gotta do what I gotta do. When something this big lands in my lap, I can't sit on it. A few weeks ago, I'm at a family function. Nothing special. Food, drinks, and the usual, so how is work going, blah blah. And I'm talking to a relative, someone I don't see often. I really do not know what he does, but I know he works for GM. We're just talking cars. He asks how the rebuild is going, the '79 Camaro, and I tell him good, now that the weather's starting to break and I can actually get back in the garage. Then he asks me, would I ever get anything new, like new, modern muscle? And I told him honestly, there's nothing out there that really moves me right now. They killed the Camaro, and I was never really a Corvette guy, just not my thing. He nodded, quiet for a second, and then he goes, what if a classic is being brought back? Of course, I asked him, well, which one? Eyebrow up, half a smile, just sitting there. And before he could even open his mouth, his phone rang. He looked at the screen, held up a finger, and walked away. That was it. That was the whole conversation. He never came back to it. I didn't push, but I've been thinking about those 8 words ever since. What if there was a different model coming out? You don't say that to be clever. You don't say that to make small talk. You say that because you know something. Now, that's either nothing or that's everything. Here's what I know. GM's Global Technical Center in Warren, Michigan, 710 acres, is where every serious skunkworks project lives. You don't announce things from there. Things leak from there. And over the past 6 months, the leaks have been pointing in one direction: a larger RWD platform, a long hood silhouette, a nameplate that hasn't been on a car since 1977. The name being whispered? Chevelle. And the renders have been dropping. You've seen them. Other channels have been posting them. A 116-inch wheelbase, which is exactly the wheelbase of the current Cadillac CT5. A long hood, short deck, classic proportions. It looks like someone reached back into 1970 and dragged it forward 50 years. And it works. It works. The leaked spec sheet that's been circulating? A triple-threat engine lineup. A 2.7-liter Turbo 4 is the entry point, a 3.0 twin-turbo V6 in the middle, and a flagship 6.2-liter V8 at the top. Sound familiar? It should. The original 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 made 450 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. Those were legendary numbers, numbers that were untouchable for decades. Today, GM's twin-turbocharged LT7, the engine in the 2025 Corvette ZR1, makes 1,064 horsepower. We've come a long way. The logic tracks, the timeline tracks. GM ended 6th Gen Camaro production in January 2024 at Lansing Grand River. The performance vacuum in the Chevrolet lineup is real. The demand for a 4-door muscle car is real. Just look at what Dodge is doing with the Charger Dakota. The renders look real. Chevrolet Global VP Scott Bell said it himself. This is not the end of the story. The 2027 Chevelle is coming. It's happening. I'm telling you, it's... Wait, what's today's date? Yeah, it's April 1st. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't close this video. I see you hovering over that dislike button, and I deserve it. But hear me out. Because here's the thing about a good April Fool's bit. The best ones are the ones where the joke almost isn't a joke.
Everything I just told you, the data is real. The GM investment is real. The platform logic is real. I just leaned into the overheard conversation angle a little harder than I probably should have. My relative is real, the title is real, and the drink was definitely real. The Chevelle part, we're going to call that creative interpretation. But let's actually talk about this, because stripped of the theater, the possibility here is genuinely interesting. In late 2025, GM confirmed a $1.25 billion investment in the Lansing Grand River plant, the same plant that built the Camaro, specifically to keep ICE rear-wheel drive production alive through 2030. That money is currently dedicated to the next-generation gas-powered Cadillac CT5. Here's the number that matters. retooling an existing RWD assembly line for a Chevrolet variant is approximately 40% cheaper than developing an entirely new vehicle from scratch. GM already has the platform, they already have the factory, they already have the supply chain. The Alpha 2 platform that underpins the Cadillac lineup is already engineered for MagnaRide 4.0 suspension and Brembo high-performance braking. It's a performance platform wearing a luxury suit. The bones are there. And the market? The market is screaming for exactly this product. The Dodge Charger Daytona is doing something nobody thought would work, a four-door American muscle car with genuine performance credibility. Mustang is a two-door holdout in an increasingly four-door world. There is a legitimate gap in the segment that a Chevelle-sized, Chevelle-named performance sedan could walk right into. What the dream build actually looks like. So let's build it properly. Hypothetically, you'd start with that 116-inch wheelbase CT5 platform. That gives you the proportions, the long hood, short deck stance that made the original Chevelle iconic. You're not cramming it into the Camaro's 110.7-inch footprint. You need room to breathe. The engine question is where it gets fun. The LT4, the supercharged 6.2-liter that currently powers the Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing, makes 668 horsepower. GM's Performance Parts division has historically released high-output engines as crate motors roughly 2 years after their production debut. A 2025 Corvette ZR1 LT7 debut aligns almost perfectly with a 2027 performance launch window. A detuned LT7 in a Chevelle SS, call it 700 horsepower, price it under $100,000, and you have a car that reshapes the entire American performance landscape. Slap the Brembo 6-piston setup on it, MagnaRide 4.0 for the suspension. Give it a real manual option, because if you're going to call it a Chevelle, you owe the purists a clutch pedal. And here's the angle that should be keeping GM's marketing department up at night. 1977 was the last year a Chevelle rolled off an assembly line. 2027 marks 50 years of silence, the 50th anniversary of the Chevelle's death, and potentially its resurrection. That's not just a product launch, that's a cultural event. 50th Anniversary Chevelle SS is a headline that writes itself, a search term that prints itself, and a license plate that sells itself. If GM wanted a moment to bring this nameplate back with maximum impact, they will never, ever get a cleaner runway than 2027. Is it happening? No, not officially, not that anyone has confirmed. But could it happen? Absolutely. The investment is real, the platform exists, the market gap is real, the anniversary timing is real. The only thing missing is someone inside that 710-acre campus in Warren deciding to pull the trigger. And maybe, just maybe, someone already has. I'm not saying I overheard anything. I'm just saying this is not the end of the story. Drop a comment. Tell me what you'd want in a 2027 Chevelle SS. And if you actually fell for the first half of this video, welcome to April. You're in good company. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.